Hi guys, if you're planning to go for Ghorepani Poon hill trek, which is in Nepal, you have come to the right place. I personally have been to Ghorepani Poon hill back in 2019. It was in end of November last week when I had gone there. I did not hire any porter, I did not hire any guide. Porter for carrying my luggage, of course. I completed this trek in 2 nights and 3 days all by myself by looking up information online. So I have had experience and I have curated all the information for you in this video. So, and I have divided this video into 3 sections. One is how to reach the place, one is budgeting for the trip, and third thing is essentials. And while I will be taking you through this video, I will be also sharing my experiences with you. So let's get started. Talking about how to reach that place. If you are in Kathmandu, and I suggest you land in Kathmandu first. I don't know if there is a direct flight to Pokhara or not, but you will have to visit the tourist office, government office in Kathmandu to get your trekker permits ready. So there are 2 permits. One is entry to Annapurna Conservation Camp, and one is TIMS permit. So I have these 2 for your reference. This is the entry to Annapurna Conservation Area. This is the TIMS card, Trekker Information Management System, wherein they'll take all of your details, your passport number and everything in case you need to be evacuated. And then there is a certain fee which you have to pay. I think I paid for TIMS around 1500 Nepali rupees, and for this around 1000 or 2000. No, this is around 1000 Nepali rupees. So in around 2500 to 3000 Nepali rupees. You can convert it in your own currency if you want. So this is very crucial. You have to visit the tourism office. They will make you wait for an hour or so, but then they'll get it done at that moment, and then continue your journey towards Pokhara. So if you do not have a overnight stay in Kathmandu that day, I would suggest you to go to the nearest bus stand. Ask anybody where is the nearest bus stand. You can either take a bus to Pokhara, which will take you around 7 to 8 hours. You can either opt for a minivan. These things look like a minivan, but they will occupy around 20 people in it. So it will be congested. This is Nepal we are talking about. Here you will have sheep traveling in a bus, so be wary. The bus will take you around 8 hours, and this minivan will take you around 7 to 8 hours, depending on how the traffic is, and the road is not so great. It's a one-way road, so there are certain potholes. They might take a break, half an hour, 1 hour break for lunch. But then if you're say leaving from Kathmandu at around noon, 1 o'clock, you will reach Pokhara by around 8:30. And I would suggest, this is what I did. I had reserved a place around lakeside in Pokhara already. So if you do not want to do that, if you are adventurous unlike me, you can go to Pokhara and then book your place. One thing to note here is they will not drop you off at the lakeside of Pokhara, which is the most scenic place in Pokhara. They will drop you in the outskirts of the town, which is around a place called Zero, Z-E-R-O, 0. So you will have to again take a taxi or a shared cab to come to this place. Again, they will charge you 400 Nepali rupees depending on how great your negotiation skills are. So once you are in the lakeside, rest. I would suggest rest, because the next day is very crucial for you. Your trekking starts here. And when you wake up next day in the morning, make sure you go to this place called the Juicery Cafe. The Juicery, I think it's in Pokhara. I had an amazing meal there. I had a cocoa smoothie bowl there. I will show the photo to you here. It was incredible. It was around 300-350 Nepali rupees, but it filled me up. It had a lot of carbs, and it had very less sugar, so my insulin did not spike. And it was a perfect meal for a trek. So I'll tell you how to reach, from where you will start your trek. From Pokhara, wherever you're staying in lake side, you'll have to take a bus and go to Zero. Zero is again a place, a destination in Pokhara, which is slightly on the outskirts, not of the outskirts, but slightly where it connects to other places. From Zero, you can either take a bus, shared cab or anything, and you can go to a place called Nayapul. Now this Nayapul place is not very near. It will take you around 2 hours, 3 hours depending on the traffic and the road, of course. And of course road in Nepal is bad. Okay, so once you are in Nayapul, and you will see a lot of trekkers. And people are very friendly. You can easily ask anybody, any bus driver, any cab driver, where is Nayapul. They'll drop you off. Of course, the bus ticket is very cheap. It was around 100 Nepali rupees from 0 to Nayapul. So yeah, should not be an issue. You do not have to pre-book the buses. They usually leave every half an hour, 1 hour. So you can check it out at the bus stand in 0. Once you're at Nayapul, you get down, you check if you have everything, and I'll come to the essentials later. From there, you will have to walk around 6 to 7 hours to a town called Ulleri. It's not a town; it's like a checkpoint, and wherever it and you know wherever you are going through Nayapul, you will see a lot of tea houses. So you do not have to pre-book a lot of places. You cannot actually. I don't think you can pre-book your overnight stay unless you are of course going with a tour guide or a guide or a porter. Otherwise, if you start your journey say around by 12 noon, and I would suggest you start your journey around 11 or 12 because noon, because then if you start it very late, you will not be able to end your journey in Ulleri. So Ulleri is a very small town which takes around 6-7 hours to walk from Nayapul. And in between, they will of course there is a checkpoint wherein they will check your 2 identifications. You have to show them all the identification, then only they'll allow you to go ahead. Once you are in Ulleri, and mind you, there are 3,500 serious steps between Nayapul and Ulleri on the way. It's huge rocks. You'll have to climb those rocks, so make sure your thighs and your glutes are very strong for trekking. And coming to the fitness level, no, you do not need to be fit for this trek because this is a easy to moderate trek, but then you cannot be obese and then trek, right? So I'm not saying anything against obese people. I'm just saying that they'll take an extra day because they might not be that fit. Once you are in Ulleri, you can stay at any tea houses you want. There won't be any more than 5 or 6 because it's a small town. There locals have converted their own houses into tea houses. That's where you will stay. So if you are staying at a place, you will have to end up buying food also there. That's how they package it. Your stay will not cost more than 400 to 500 Nepali rupees per day, and again 200-300 or 400 rupees Nepali rupees depending on your food which you order for dinner. So you rest in Ulleri. The temperature will not go below 0. It doesn't go below 0 in Ghorepani, but the temperature will be around 10 degrees. So be prepared. Next morning when you wake up, I would suggest have coffee, have something heavy, and then leave early because this is the time you have to reach Ghorepani, and again the walk would be around say 7 to 10 hours depending on how fast you can climb. You do not have to worry about acclimatization because this Ghorepani Poon Hill trek, even the highest summit is around 11,000 feet. So while you are walking, I think your body is already getting acclimatized. I did not face any challenges with acclimatization. And there were a lot of trekkers I met on the way. There was this Australian lady and his daughter. The lady was about 50-55 and she had no issues with acclimatization. So it's unlike Annapurna base camp trek or Everest base camp trek where you will have to dedicate 1 day aside only for acclimatization. Alright, so now once you have left Ulleri, you will take around say 8 hours walking, casual slow walking, to reach a place called Ghorepani. Now mind you, there are 2 Ghorepanis, Ghorepani 1 and probably Ghorepani 2. I don't know what is the official name there, but it's a town. It's a town which is at the bottom, and then if you say walk for around 20-25 minutes more above, there is Ghorepani 2. So I would suggest for your next day morning trek to Poon Hill, you stay at Ghorepani 2 because that's how you will end up saving more time going next day on the top of the hill. And there are of course many tea houses there wherein you can stay. And the food here, I would suggest you do not consume meat because meats are usually carried on the backs by donkeys and yaks and may not be fresh. I would suggest you have a simple plate of Nepalese dal bhat roti. A photo would be here for your reference. So that's what I had, and it was very tasty. When I reached on the top, I also had a plate of momos because I was craving. This is when I reached Ghorepani 2, which is the above Ghorepani high, the top Ghorepani. Anyway, so I do not remember the place where I stayed. All of them look similar because they are houses converted into tea houses, and they do not have serious central heating or anything, but they are decent for a one night stay. Again, the temperatures will not go below 0 degrees, but in my case the temperature went around 3 to 4 degrees at night, so I was pretty much shivering, and I do not come from a very I stay in Bombay, so the temperature is pretty much 30 degrees everywhere, so I do not wear anything beyond a t-shirt. Anyway, so after the night, if you have stayed in Ghorepani 2, you will have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when the ascent to Poon Hill starts, and the walk to Poon Hill will take you around another 1.5 hours. And mind you, you do not have to carry your entire luggage here. You can keep your luggage in Ghorepani hotel or tea house where you are staying. Sorry, you probably do not have to carry any of these cards with you. While going to Poon Hill, there is a small checkpoint wherein foreigners will have to pay a certain entry fees, maybe around 50 to 100 Nepali rupees, to enter Poon Hill area. It is a small hill above Ghorepani. It is not a big mountain, but the views are amazing. So if you start your journey at around 3 o'clock, you will reach Poon Hill by around 4:30 or 5 maximum with a casual walk. The way is not tricky. It is simple steps which you have to walk. The path is pretty much defined, and all the travelers would be walking in. You will have to follow everybody. Once you are at the top, there is a viewing station. It is a wooden, like a lighthouse built for you to have a 360 degree of all the mountains around. There are several mountains which you can see: Machapure, Dhaulagiri, Annapurna 1, Annapurna South, Annapurna 2, and the views are stunning. So the reason why people wake up early in the morning and go to Poon Hill is just to see the sunset. So here are a couple of images of mine when I had gone there, and sun had risen. Did I say sunset? Sunrise. People go there for sunrise. So and there is a very famous, there is only one stall, and that stall sells a very famous hot chocolate. You should definitely try, but it's less of a hot chocolate. I mean, it has less milk and more water, but you get the idea of what you get in Nepal. It will cost you around 150 rupees, Nepali rupees, or 200 rupees, I don't know, but they give you in a steel mug. Okay, so after the sunrise, you click a lot of photos. Of course, if you have friends, tell them to click your photos. If you're solo, tell others to click your photos. That's what I did. Told others to click my photos. I came down to Ghorepani 2 by around 8:30. You cannot shower in that temperature. Again, the temperatures were around 4 degrees, 5 degrees. You cannot shower. But then I thought that I should not waste more time. I should not stay the day at Ulari, because I had limited time in Nepal and I had to explore Kathmandu as well. So I thought that if I wake up early, if I leave this place early, I might be able to reach Nayapur by the end of the day, and that is what happened. You know, people usually leave at around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. and they reach Ulari by around 4 or 5 p.m. And they'll have to end up staying the night at Ulari, because it is not avoidable to walk in the night. It is not suggested to walk in the night. Alright, but that's not what I did, and that is not what I would suggest you also if you have the fitness levels. If you are fit enough and if you are confident enough, you will be able to make it to Nayapur all the way down. So start your journey from Ghorepani 2, I think that's the above Ghorepani. You can walk all the way down to Nayapur. Now between Nayapur and Ulari, there is a small town, I think, called Tadapani, wherein you can get jeeps which will take you all the way to Nayapur or Pokhara. But then the whole experience of a trekking goes away. This is not what I would suggest. And yeah, so if you can do it. Come to Nayapur, take a bus, again 2 hours, it will take you 2 hours. Go to Zero, take a cab, walk till Lake Shore in Pokhara. That's where you'll have to stay, of course. So coming to the second point, budgeting of the trip. Now I don't think the budgeting is very big for this trip. These things, like I told you, will cost you around 3,000 Nepalese rupees. So if you are staying in a decent hostel in Pokhara, it will again cost you around 300 Nepali rupees per day. So that comes to 3,300. Let's just say your breakfast early morning in Pokhara will cost you around 500. That takes it to 3,300 plus 500, 3,800 rupees. You do not need any essential trekking poles or anything to walk. But if you have nothing like it, you do not need any jackets or anything to walk. You do not need gloves. Although I would recommend you at least get gloves which will keep you warm till 10 degrees. Now coming to tea houses, the tea houses, let's just say average on a day with food, it will cost you around 1200 rupees. So you will be staying 2 nights, so that makes around 2400. Day 1 night in Ulleri and 1 night in Ghorepani. And if you feel like indulging, you can also buy Snickers, Mars bars, but that shit is very expensive there. That will cost you around 300 to 300 Nepali rupees, which might cost you less than half in your country. So 3,000, 3,800, add more 3,000 for the stay, which makes it to 6,800. Add more 100, add more 1,000 for your snacks or everything. I think your trekking budget in Nepali rupees, I think you are looking at something around between 7 to 8,000, not more. But if you feel like splurging, if you feel like getting a better tea house to stay at night, so the cost will of course go up. That is completely up to you. Now talking about the essentials. So I would suggest people who think that they might feel altitude sickness, please get those medicines. I would suggest you have basic medicines with you, which of course your doctor would suggest. Medicines for fever, medicines for cold is necessary. Have good trekking shoes, because you will be practically walking on hard stones, and so you do not want walking shoes. The weather can be unpredictable at times, and it gets very cold at night, so do not have fleece, only have a fleece jacket, have a winter jacket as well. Carry woolen socks with you. Carry a good camera for you to click amazing pictures, because the view is extraordinary, especially from Poon Hill. It is extraordinary, trust me. Because at 3,000 some odd feet, you get to see the entire panorama of the mountains, and they are encircling you. So breathtaking views. So yeah, in essentials, and while you are at the tourism office in Nepal, you can get a map, something like this, which will have your route mapped till Ghorepani Poon Hill, and after that, if you want to go to Annapurna base camp, so it is all listed out. These maps are free to collect from any tourism office, and I would suggest you get it from Kathmandu. And of course, it's not compulsory for you to make your permits in Kathmandu. You can do so in Pokhara as well. But again, I would suggest you do in Kathmandu, because the staff is, I don't know, I read somewhere the staff was more friendly and they'll expedite your process. So this is the map, like I said, of Annapurna base camp and Ghorepani included. But then you will find a lot of maps of Everest base camp, of other destinations there. So I would suggest you collect it from there. Again, talking about food, please try to avoid meat, try to avoid alcohol, try to not smoke, because then your endurance level will get affected, and try not to litter. Please guys, let's save our nature. That's it from the video. If you really like the video, please give it a like. It means a lot, because it took a lot of efforts to make this video. Thank you so much. Bye.